Hello, Stelia. Thanks for clicking on. So, what we're going to talk about today is luck and cultivating good luck and what kind of luck do you have, and just kind of looking at the energy of luck. So, if maybe you saw the Harry Potter movies, and in one of them, uh, I think it was seven. Anyway, in one of the later episodes, uh, he gets a potion of liquid luck, and it makes him really happy. It makes him really optimistic. He has a good feeling about things, and Hermione wants him to go in one direction, and he wants to go in this other, seemingly unrelated direction. And of course, that leads to one thing and another, which all works out better than you could have planned. And think about the times when you have felt lucky. Um, One of the things that I love about luck is your whole body like gets happy when you're in that energy of luck. And there's kind of a foundational thing about luck for me is that as an infinite being with a body, you're already luckier than anybody can imagine. As an infinite being, you have resources and access that your body cannot imagine because your body is finite. It lives in the physical world, which is a wonderful contribution. It's a great thing to have. I sometimes think of body as a native guide to this dimension and this planet and this reality, which is a wonderful thing. This is a really great place to be, creating into the physical world. I mean, not in the Time Warner version of it, not in the Die Hard version of it, not in the mass media trying to convince us that that's the only reality. But there's lots of realities that are not like that, and that's what we're here to do. Is the for some of us, it's about proliferation of joy and thriving. When you look at nature, everybody talks about nature all the time because nature lives in a different reality than the mass media. Any kind of books, television, movies that we're concerned with are all by nature kind of man-made conclusions, decisions, assumptions. They're man-made stories. And when you're in nature, you're in the presence of, when you're aware of nature, when you're in nature, you're in the presence of an energy that is beyond all of that. And most of life is beyond the stories and the constructs of who, what, how, when, and where. And you go out of the story and out of the programming and out into live, which is unpredictable, and there's all kinds of possibilities. And there's so much there's so many shitstorms going on in the world right now about owning reality and whose reality is real, and whose reality do you need to be living by. And what is reality? There's a lot of metaphysical kinds of questions that used to be in secluded corners of the culture that are playing out in, on CNN, right? And so there's a lot of kind of conflicting realities instead of one that everybody kind of agrees to. So that right there is pretty disturbing for a body. So whatever that is, whatever that brings up or lets down for you, do you choose to just allow it to go away? Just allow it to move out. Just give yourself some space from that, just for this moment. So the thing about luck is you are by nature lucky. Maybe not culturally, maybe not the story of you from the culture. That can be very unlucky. or undeserving, a lot of stuff, right? But by nature, without all of that construct, you actually are incredibly lucky and incredibly blessed and gifted and capable. And you really are a gift to life and living on this planet. And nothing in the culture is going to tell you that, maybe. In fact, the culture might tell you severely opposite or severely damaged versions. But you are by nature luck. Luck walking around in a body. Good luck. I mean, good luck. And so you kind of feel that. My body gets really happy because I love working with this energy. And one of the things that you can say to cultivate this, just saying it to yourself, is, I am the luckiest person on the planet. 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 So keep saying that to yourself, and I'm going to kind of join in. You are the luckiest person on the planet. 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 You are the luckiest person I know. You are the luckiest person on the planet. And just kind of really breathe into that and let that steep into your whole system. And really be in that energy of being the luckiest person on the planet. Doesn't matter what anybody else says. When you're in this energy, you are the luckiest person on the planet. So, and what the thing about luck to me is that this is the way that your body can kind of comprehend this concept of being an infinite being with a body. Bodies have tremendous capacities, although they're not the ones that we're told they are. And one of the capacities of bodies is to be a vibration, right? So when you think about it, when you're sad or when you're depressed or when a friend of yours is, do it this way. Recall a time when you were with somebody who was sad and depressed, and you weren't. You just had really great news. You just got a bonus. You just got new shoes, whatever it was, right? And be aware, just recall that time when the energies were so different between you and somebody else. And it's not about any way is right or wrong. It's about noticing the energy, because that's the thing that really can change your life, is to start to notice the energy and then act on the energy. So you can feel the difference. It's a sensation. It's not an emotion. It's a sensation of being really up. You just got the raise. You just got the bonus. You just got the new whatever, the new car, whatever. And, everything's coming up roses for you. And it's a very ebullient, effusive, enthusiastic kind of happiness. And someone who is, they just lost something that they loved, a person or place or a thing that they really loved, and they're sad and they're situationally depressed or clinically, either way. But you can feel the difference between those two energies, right? And so when you're being an energy, you're more comfortable with more of that energy. So if you're being lucky, really good lucky and optimistic, and what wonders are waiting for me next, then that's fun, right? And you want to be around more of that kind of energy, because it has when you're around, it's the birds of a feather thing. When you're around somebody, other people with a comparable energy, then it's like, yeah, this is the way the world is, we're on board with things, wonderful things are happening every day, and what else is possible, and what wonders are going to come of this thing that supposedly is bad. One of the things that I love about when bad things happen and you ask, what's right about this, that I'm not perceiving, that when I perceive it, it changes everything dynamically, is that it takes everything that happens in life, the good and the bad, and turns it into what it truly is, which is a possibility of greater, right? So the kind of Time Warner version of the world has us trained to think what else can happen, what other bad thing can happen, when's the other shoe going to drop. It's almost as though right now it's like all of media has PTSD, and it's broadcasting post-traumatic stress to everybody, and it's giving everybody post-traumatic stress. So if you weren't worried about the other shoe dropping before, then either you're unaware and you're stupid, or you're not legitimate, you're not credible, right? So there's this craziness that has become so permeated in everything, that for you to walk around being lucky and looking forward to the days and weeks adventures can seem uncomfortable or maybe stupid to other people. So that right there can be enough to kind of drop doing that and go back into what bad thing is going to happen next. So birds of a feather, like attracts like, is about frequency, let's say, and being in a compatible frequency, like the way when you play a chord, the three notes, for instance, are congruent with each other. They create a harmony. They're in a comfortable frequency together. And if you throw another note in there, then it's discordant, right? And it's not congruent. Why does that matter? Because we're energy. So we are biochemical beings, sure. Just like the AMA and everything tells us, body chemistry, brain chemistry, and all that jazz. All that's true. And we're electromagnetic beings. And to not validate that is kind of like walking around without, your right hand, or being colorblind to just one color. It's just it's functional. It can be functional, but it's off, right? So as a electromagnetic being, you're always this birds of a feather thing, this like attracts like thing. You're going to find people in your bandwidth kind of thing. And you're going to see things in your bandwidth, and you're going to see things from your bandwidth. So it's like a screen for your ears, your hearing, and for your eyes, because you see what you want to see. So everything that brings up and lets down, just let it go, let it go, let it go. Don't think about it. Just see if you have a lightness or a heaviness around all of this. There are lots of people that in institutions and more that are actually invested in your not being lucky, especially now. And if you know that you're lucky, and if you know that things are going your way and the universe has you back, then you're harder to control. And there are energies that really just want to control everybody. So you don't have to dwell on any of that. Just try the experiment of being in the energy of luck. So luck is how it's the word that your body understands for being, an infinite creator of your life. And it feels fantastic. Everything that has gone right or wrong, you actually have created it, which means you can transform it. So let's say something happened at some point in your life and you made choices that you have decided were the wrong choice or a bad choice. And then something unpleasant maybe goes along with all of that. And then that kind of gets uh, the kind of, what do you call it? A conclusion, right? So it lets, the analogy would be don't touch a hot stove. So whatever this bad thing was and whatever this bad choice was, then you have conclusions about how you can or can't trust you, or how you can or can't trust other people, or whatever your conclusion is. But then you're shaping your world around that. So what if you revisit that story of that thing that happened that you have decided was a bad thing? What if you came into the energy of what's right about this that I'm not getting, that when I can perceive it changes everything dynamically? And you stay in that question, stay in that energy of you are the luckiest person in the world, and the universe really is on your side. And so everything that's happened has been in some way that you haven't maybe perceived yet, that a way to create greater for you in your life and living. And then you'll see the same thing from a different perspective. So, so often in our lives, we just see kind of the ramp up to the bad thing, right? And the difficulties or the deceit or whatever went on, and we, build up to the crux of the thing, the crescendo. But we never pay any attention to the other side, which is, okay, so everything blew up, and then things changed, and then things settled, and then you were in this other place. And chances are there's some silver lining about this other place that you ended up in. But you kind of have to let go of the story of how all of these bad and wrong things happen and then burst into this really horrible thing. So if you're paying attention to the whole story, then it's not just this one stress point. There's more to the story that has to be dropped out to only focus on the stress point. And if you're looking at the stress point from the perspective of, okay, this happened when I was 19 years old and it was bad and wrong. Okay, that's fine. You'll get a lot of support for that. And, it may be that for a long time you need to have that story because you're trying to digest whatever happened. And that happens to be the way that maybe you can validate what happened to you. I mean, a lot of times things happen to us that other people around us deny, or they say it didn't happen, or they say it wasn't that big a deal, in which case we can require a lot of time to really validate for ourselves, kind of struggle with making somebody else's point of view more valuable and real to you than your own point of view. And the reason the story stays around is until you actually hear it, until you really, really, without defending for or against, until you really allow for how painful that was, or, how hard that was. Once you really allow that, once you really let that in, then it will naturally take you to a new place. You don't have to think your way to a new place. Actually, just allowing that this thing that happened really hurt, changes everything. And then it changes everything and it takes you to a whole new place. Whole new place. So a lot of times when we're holding on to a story, it's because we haven't allowed, just for ourselves, to really let in, oh my God, that really hurt. And just validate that. And then it can change because the message has been heard. But don't take my word for it. Really be kind to you and listen to the stories that you tell and be on your side when you tell them. And without defending for or against anyone or anything. And just see what happens when you try that out. So when you are the luckiest person on the planet, and the universe it's like, let's say this is an analogy. I'm not saying the universe is this, it's like this. It's like everybody is the center of the universe. And so everybody's point of view, experiences, and all that, then the world that they experience is kind of around each one of us. I don't know how this happens. Just the concept of a multiverse is the only thing that, kind of makes my body like, okay, I understand that enough to let it go. And as the luckiest person on the planet, what do you want to create today? And what do you want to heal? What do you want to change? Healing is just another word for change. And getting unstuck. It's like having an idea stuck and then you get it unstuck. That's what healing is. So being the luckiest person on the planet changes everything. And living as the luckiest person on the planet, it's a lot like gratitude. It's fun. It's appreciative. It's to me, appreciative is like a dynamic relational thing. It's like, how did I get to be so lucky? And lucky is not like I'm undeserving and I've been given this great gift. It's more like, how great that I've been given this great gift. It's you don't have to be less than to be lucky. You can be equal to and be lucky. And then you have all these choices and all these possibilities. And it's like being on a really great scavenger hunt every day. What wonders am I going to come across? Who am I going to talk to? Who am I going to meet? What's going to happen? And then it's all about, it's, this effervescent kind of live, right? There's a lot of energy these days that want everything to be predictable. And, that's really out of fear. And if you are the luckiest person on the planet, then whatever happens, it'll turn into gold because the universe has your back and you're on your side. So you do things to be lucky, and you do things to be unlucky. You do have beliefs and thoughts and words that you tell yourself. So what if you try the experiment? Because, don't take my word for it, try for yourself. What if you tried this thing of repeating 10 times every morning when you get up, or every time you eat, do it multiple times a day, and just repeat, I am the luckiest person on the planet. 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 And just really step into that, and it'll start to you'll start to look for examples of it, and you'll start to find examples of it. And it gets you in this totally different frame of mind, and it really changes the filters that you see and hear with. So as an infinite being, you're beyond luck. You can't be unlucky. It's luck is your nature, and luck is a way bodies can understand the great power and joy of being an infinite being with a body. So, how did you get so lucky? How did we get so lucky? And then play with that energy and see what happens. Great. I would love to hear from you about your experiment. So, be the luckiest person on the planet and see what wonders you can create. Okay, thanks. Bye.